I'm the one and only DJ Storms. And tomorrow night, live on the WWE Network, one man and one woman will ascend to the top of the ladder and grab a contract that will change their life forever. Also, a phenomenal champion puts his world crown on the line against the man who betrayed him and disrespected him at WrestleMania. And finally, the baddest woman on the planet takes on the irresistible force in what is said to be the biggest women's championship match in history. But before it's time for that phenomenal champion and the man who disrespected him to clash, before it is time for the baddest woman on the planet and the irresistible force to collide, before it is time for Money in the Bank, it's time for the rundown! Thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another video right here on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is the official rundown for WWE Money in the Bank, streaming live tomorrow night on the WWE Network from the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois, with the pre-show starting at a special time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And today, I have a very special guest with me. He is the mastermind and creator behind the Dr. Huge Show Periscope live stream and podcast. Follow him on Twitter at Dr. Huge Show. Please welcome Dr. Hugenstein. What is good?
Wow, what an entrance, what an intro to a wrestling podcast. Congratulations on having Dr. Huge on your show and for everything you're doing out in wrestling communities, all pissing everybody off all over the internet. You know it entertains me, and that's what I'm all about. So thank you for inviting me. Nobody else has. They're all afraid of, people like Dr. Huge and DJ Storms. I understand. I get what's going on, but thank you for inviting me, and I'll accept. Of course I accepted. I'm here, right?
Absolutely.
Stupid doctor.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it. So, for those of you who do not know how this is going to work, as of course my rundown is the pay-per-view preview and prediction show. So I'm going to start off. I'll talk about one match, and then I'm going to hand the ball over to Dr. Huge. He's going to talk about another match. We're going to go back and forth until we get to the main event. So, I'm going to start. Let's talk about the pre-show match. The Good Brothers, Carl Abs Anderson and Luke Ski Gallows, versus the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, for the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles. Don't underestimate the pre-show match. I've said that numerous times in the past. I think this match is going to be very competitive. They are on the pre-show, so they should get a little more time, whereas people on the main show, they might be suppressed for the main matches. But I expect the Bludgeon Brothers to come out victorious, and I don't think we're going to see Sanity. Originally, I thought Sanity was going to debut, but since they're on the pre-show, I don't think they would designate Sanity to the pre-show. So I think the Bludgeon Brothers are going to retain over the club, and I believe Sanity might debut this Tuesday on SmackDown, which will, again, start the build towards Sanity and the Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam. So, the Bludgeon Brothers to come out victorious. All right, so... Oh, wait, you got something to say?
First of all, the Bludgeons are going to win. This is really the WWE's way of throwing the Good Brothers as, like, the last of the Mohegans over there in SmackDown Live, like the last good tag team that they have that they can eat up, and then they're going to move on and face Sanity, as you said, because they're going to be coming up soon, and that's going to be your main, hopefully, we always hope, but that's going to be your main rivalry going forward.
True. Well, you got to remember something. It's not the last team, because the Bludgeon Brothers haven't faced the Bar or the New Day, and I think that might be a bridge at Extreme Rules toward SummerSlam with Sanity.
That's true. I'm saying, I think destroying the New Day, the Usos, who else? They've destroyed another team, and then...
Breezango,
and then they're going to destroy, the Good Brothers. And really, you don't want them destroying everybody. I think we've gotten them over to a certain point. We know they're indestructible, especially after Money in the Bank, and then we can go forward, with them putting over a young startup to make them look as strong right off the bat. It just makes sense.
True. All right, I'm going to hand the ball over to you. So, I want you to tap into that dark part of your brain, and I want you to give me the expertise analysis on the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, it is Ember Moon versus Charlotte versus Alexa Bliss versus Natalya versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks versus Naomi versus Lana. Go.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have no idea who's going to win this match. They could go so many different ways. Naomi, when I see that name on the list, you want to skip over it. But she could possibly win it because if you remember the power rankings they had this year, she was number 4.
I don't have a problem with Naomi.
But you know what I'm saying? She wasn't holding a title or anything, and the fans were picking. So if they were trying to throw a bone to the fans, I'm thinking Naomi is maybe one of the top picks. She's looked at as one of the top ladies in wrestling as far as the fans see it. Then you have Lana, who could put over Rusev Day by herself. I don't think Rusev and Lana have to win both Money in the Banks to do it. But Lana by herself, because I look at the Money in the Bank briefcase as a reason not to wrestle and to continuously train and do your thing, maybe get better. Kind of like what Carmella did, even though Carmella isn't like,
a trash.
All right, yeah, everybody's got their takes on these guys, these people's wrestling. She does pull the weave a lot, but I'm saying it gives them more time to just bullshit without having to actually wrestle. So that's another reason that they could give it to Lana, because just Rusev stays hot. And I think Money in the Bank briefcases especially tend to go to people that they want to get over in the future. Like Becky Lynch, she doesn't strike me as somebody that will win it. I want her to win it, but I don't think she will. And I'll tell you, because she's kind of already over. What's the briefcase going to do for her, right? So they look at it. I'm just saying, writing-wise, I'm thinking they're looking at it in that type of way. Same reason Charlotte won't have it. Same reason. Who else is in it? Ember Moon. It's too early for her.
Well, you see, I pitched the idea of that because you can set up for Ember Moon and Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's title at SummerSlam. Ember Moon can have a rematch with Asuka if she wins the title at Survivor Series, and then Ember Moon could drop it to Ronda Rousey at the Rumble. Charlotte wins the Women's Royal Rumble and sets up that match.
Yeah, but that's the thing that's crazy about all of this Money in the Bank stuff. Like, somebody could cash in the night of Money in the Bank or like a year from now. So it's really what they're thinking at the WWE, which makes this super hard to pick or to even have because it could be, I'm fine with any of them getting it, first of all. Really, Natalya, that could be her final, goodbye.
Her last, yeah.
What I'm saying, this could be her last one. There's a reason they could all get it, is what I'm saying.
Your prediction?
My prediction? All right, I'll give you this one. I won't give you the men's one, though. I got to save some stuff for my Sunday.
Yeah, true.
With the big boobied Jenny from Finance who's coming on to talk. But anyway,
all right.
Yeah. Who's gonna win this? You know what? I'm going with Lana because
really,
Rusev isn't gonna win. So I got another pick for that, I believe. But I'm just gonna throw it out there right now. Because everybody else, Sasha doesn't need it, even though she could have it. Just why not give it to Lana? She's not wrestling anyway. All the other girls they could give them more time in the ring, and she could just come out and go, ooh, and she looks good. I mean, all of this makes sense to me.
All right.
Giving her the briefcase. And then she comes out with Aiden English and Rusev, and they get involved with it. It just gives them something to do.
Okay. All right, so your predictions, Lana. I'm going with Ember Moon if we're talking about long-term storyline booking and great matches in the future. All right, so my turn. So let's talk about a singles championship match. Let's talk about Seth Rollins versus Elias for the Intercontinental Championship. This is one of the matches that I really think stands out on the Money in the Bank card. I really expect this match to be very good. I expect this match to be very competitive between Rollins and Elias, and especially since Rollins is, so great. He's been doing some of the best work of the year ever since that gauntlet match before the Elimination Chamber. Seth Rollins, let me tell you something. The obvious thing to do would be to have Elias win and Rollins would move on to Brock Lesnar. But from the role that Seth Rollins has been on, I really don't see Seth Rollins losing the title at this stage. So my prediction for this is I'm going to have to go with Seth Rollins. I think Elias will have a very good showing. Elias will definitely be Intercontinental Champion at least at the beginning of 2019, I would say. If not this year, then the beginning of 2019. Though this is the correct moment to put Elias in that spot, I really don't think that they're going to do it based on the momentum that Seth Rollins has had. So I'm going to call Seth Rollins to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Do you have a prediction on this?
I do, but I'm going to save it.
Okay.
But I think this is another tough one. I really don't know. They could go either way, and they can't lose. Seth Rollins wins, cool. Elias wins, cool.
True. They both have a certain aspect about them that they're invincible to losses, no matter what.
I'll tell you, this card, it's not an easy one to pick, anyway. Just looking up and down it. Like I said, a lot of these, just like the Money in the Banks, you can't go wrong no matter who wins it. And maybe they set it up like this.
Maybe. All right, so I'm going to hand the ball back over to you, and I want you to tell me about the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Carmella and Asuka.
All right, well, we all heard Ellsworth is coming back. I'm not a big spoiler guy or anything. It doesn't mean he's coming back, but he's supposed to go to China to defend that intergender belt.
Please go to China, Ellsworth, please.
Which is big money, of course. So if he's backing out of that, it has to be for a big deal. And what's going on that same day? Oh, my God, it's Money in the Bank. So he's going to be at Money in the Bank because Carmella's there, and it's just a callback to last year and all the antics that went on. He can maybe do another little small stint with her, but I say he comes back and wins. I did think for a moment today, after all the dust settled and everything with the news of this coming out, that maybe Ellsworth comes back and they try to swerve everybody, right? And she still loses. But, she's going to win. She's going to retain. And I like it because Asuka doesn't need the belt right now. They need to keep building her up, making her look like that put her over as a big baby face, in which it means you have to get beat up and you have to lose a bunch before you start winning. She's won too much.
Not really, because the way that Asuka's being positioned right now, we all know that Carmella's trash. She's cringe on the mic. She can't wrestle. Dude, she can't She had a 1-star match with Charlotte of all people.
I'm just talking entertainment value, though. All around. That's how you gotta kind of scope this more. I understand you're analyzing the wrestling and stuff, but you gotta look at all this. Carmella is just so hot. She's
look, listen. I don't mind looking at her. I don't mind scoping her out, but when it comes to the ring and the mic, she is garbage. She's garbage.
Would you boo her at an event? Would you be in her face booing her?
I don't really know because I don't think I've ever I haven't been on the barricade with some people.
Okay. But you boo, right?
Oh, obviously I boo.
All right, is she a booer?
Yes, she is a booer. She's actually slowly approaching go away heel heat. Same heat that Roman and Mahal has.
Yeah, and you know what? That they love that. So the more that everybody boos, the more you're going to see her, especially with belts. They're
gonna have to open their eyes. Let me tell you. But since you're going to save your prediction, I'm going to throw in my prediction. I'm going to call Asuka, get the belt off of Carmella, put the belt on Asuka, and if I was booking this, I would have Asuka hold the belt to WrestleMania 35 and do a dream match of some sorts with Kairi Sane, because I would love to see that. All right, so back to me, and I'm going to talk about Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. My God, this could not get any worse. We got an obstacle course. We had sisters or men dressed in dresses and skirts and wigs with dirty towels and broomsticks. What else did we have? We also had Instagram posts. The only thing thing that I can hope that comes out of this match is I hope the match is good. That's the only thing that I can say. I hope the match is good. And if I was to give my prediction on this, I would say Bobby Lashley, since since he came back and they've been trying to build him up as something. Hopefully he turns heel down the line and actually shows a bit more edge. But there's really nothing else that goes in or comes out of this match. I just hope the match is good. That's it. And I'm just going to call Bobby Lashley. Obviously, I know you don't want to, but you want to share a few thoughts on this match?
Yeah, it's a terrible build-up, like most of these stories and whatever they got going on. I'm not a huge Sami Zayn fan anyway. I get why people like him. He's a good wrestler and everything, especially with the heel turn. It's a little better. But Bobby Lashley coming back, I was actually excited for it, but once again, disappointed immediately.
What are they going to do? What are you going to do?
Once they haven't done anything with him, so it was just like, oh, all right. I thought he could have had... Imagine, all the rumors are he's coming in, he could take on Brock Lesnar, get the title. I mean, we're done with the Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar stuff, even though
I hope.
We're hoping, but this would have been a great chance to fucking ease Brock Lesnar right back in the MMA and have an MMA. You got an MMA guy right there from Top Team with Colby Covington. All them guys on Impact. Now they're friends with Impact. They could have had them in. It would have been bonkers.
They didn't do anything with Lashley, though. They just brought him back as a smiley babyface.
So, I don't get it.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to hand the ball back over to you, and I want you to give me some more expertise analysis on Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass.
Oh, my goodness. Daniel Bryan, Big Cass, another...
Now, let me tell you something. I don't mean to interrupt, and I don't mean to rain on your parade, but I heard a report from the PPG Paints Arena, which is hosting Extreme Rules, that we might get a third Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass match, this time with a stipulation.
You know what's funny? I was actually... I have that written down. I was going to speak on this later.
Oh, really?
And I'll give you another prediction. Well, it's because I predict Big Cass is going to win, and it's just going to extend this. Big Cass is not coming out 2 weeks in a row like he has, cutting those long-ass promos like he did, to have it end at Money in the Bank. Especially with a Daniel Bryan. They've had it in the works from the beginning that this was going to go pretty much till like SummerSlam, I believe.
Oh, God.
So that's what I'm guessing. He's going to win, and this shit's going till SummerSlam. It's not going to end at the short jokes. It's been, like I said, this Big Cass has gotten so much airtime just off of Daniel Bryan, and they want to get him over, and it's not going to end until he gets over. But he's going to get this middle match. Daniel Bryan probably win the last match, but it will get Big Cass's name out there.
Yeah, and I kind of feel the same way, because I stated that the best route for the WWE Championship picture would be to have Nakamura win the title, have Nakamura and Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, Nakamura wins, and then we get a rematch inside Hell in a Cell in September. Bryan wins, and The Miz swoops in, cashes in his Money in the Bank contract, takes Bryan off of TV, Bryan returns at the Rumble, The Miz holds the title from September to WrestleMania, and then we get Bryan versus Miz at WrestleMania. That's the best route to go, but based on the information that Big Cass has been getting a lot of airtime, like you said, the fact that Daniel Bryan hasn't re-signed, or has not been rumored to re-sign, and the fact that they haven't been booking him the way that everyone wants him to be booked, my heart says Daniel Bryan, my head says Big Cass, so unfortunately I'm going to have to say Big Cass as well.
Yeah, and did you think that we were going to have 4 or 5 Nakamura AJ Styles? This is 4, right?
I think this is 5. Yeah, this is 5. I really have no problem with it. Look, I really have no problem with it because I respect both guys, and ever since WrestleMania, when they were all obviously sabotaged, I didn't really see anything else. But Vince McMahon was kind of holding them back. But ever since then, I've been enjoying it to a certain extent. So I really have no problem.
I'm bringing it up because of the length of the Big Cass Daniel Bryan. They really only had one match, really.
Like one and a half, since there was a triple threat with him, Joe, and
this
Cash.
ain't over yet. This ain't over.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna have to go with Big Cass as well. All right. Oh god, you know what? Might as well get this out of the way. Borman Lames versus Jinder Mahal. So, I said this. I've stated this numerous times. This will be the worst match of the decade. We got Jinder Mahal, who can't wrestle and can't cut a decent promo for his life and needs Yeah, I know. And then we got Roman Reigns, who gets carried to great matches and is the most hated guy, not for the right reasons as well. So this match, I expect a lot of this is boring chants. I expect the Chicago crowd to pull out 4 or 5 beach balls. I expect to see a Mexican wave as well. Chicago, if anyone from Chicago is watching me, do a Mexican wave for me.
Is half going to leave?
What?
Are half the audience going to leave?
I don't think so, because if they were smart, they would put it on somewhere in the middle of the card. Because if the main event is either the WWE title match or one of the Money in the Bank ladder matches, then they're going to stay till the end. But there's a reason why they left, because because Roman main events another pay-per-view, and they're not going to sit through that. But if I was to call someone, I have a feeling that they're going to, completely swerve us and have Jinder win. But, with Roman, every match that Roman goes into, he's the favorite. So, screw it. I'm just going to call Roman. I'm really not going to care for this match, but I'm just going to call Roman. So, I'm going to hand the ball back over to you. Give me some thoughts on Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey. We are almost at the end of the card, I believe.
Oh, well, Nia and Ronda is intriguing, even though a lot of people are pooping on it, because Ronda...
I have no problem with it.
She did really well in that WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
I'm not like a mega fan of hers or anything, but I'm open to her being as far as being a judo expert, and just like Kurt Angle, he was a natural. She's going to be a natural. They could go either way then. Like I said, the rest of this card is hard. This is another tough one, because they could give it to Nia to continue making her look strong. She's the biggest person, as far as their female wrestlers goes, with the strap, so you don't want to have her lose right away. And then Ronda Rousey is also your cash cow. So does she take it off of the biggest person that holding the strap right now to make her look good? So, I mean, as far as picking it, it's another one. I got to mull over that one a little longer, but I think the match could surprise people and be really good. Not necessarily because of Nia Jax, who I don't think is the greatest wrestler, but because of Ronda Rousey.
Well, yeah, you see, I agree with you on a lot of points. See, I'm not a mega fan of Ronda. I am very supportive of what she's done so far. I get why they're doing this. I get why they're putting Nia in that position, because they don't want to leave her off of pay-per-view, and they don't want to put her in a Money in the Bank ladder match or anything like that. The best route to go here, see, I already pitched the idea of Ember Moon getting the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then Ember Moon cashes in on Nia at Extreme Rules, and then we get Ember and Sasha. What do you do with Rousey? So, regardless of what happens, Natalya, should interfere in that match and take Ronda Rousey off of television per storyline injury, and I think that they could build towards Ronda and Natalya. That way you got 2 great women's matches for SummerSlam, the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. How is it that, how long have we been doing this? We've been doing this for about 23 minutes. How is it that I can book 2 great women's feuds and matches within 23 minutes, but yet WWE has all this time, and they can't come up with something halfway decent as what I'm putting forth?
Because you actually...
You know what? I'm sorry, you cut out there for a minute.
Because you actually...
You cut out again. What?
Can you hear me? You thought about it.
Yeah, there we go. I'm sorry, the connection must be shitty.
That's cool.
But if I was to pick one, I would actually say Natalya is going to interfere regardless, and she's going to cost Ronda Rousey. Look, Nia is terrible, but I prefer her over Carmella any day. Because unlike Carmella, Nia's actually put on some good matches in the past. So,
I would like to see Nia wear Carmella's outfit.
Oh, Jesus. Dude, I invited you here to talk wrestling, not to give me nightmares.
Well, let me give you a quick question before we get back to this other stuff here in the Money in the Bank. Well, what's this deal with Corderas and you? I seen, because he blocked me, so I didn't get to see anything he wrote to you, but apparently you guys were beefing last night.
The problem with this guy is he's a former WWE referee for 20 years. He's the author of the 3 Count. He's the co-host of a TV show, and I believe he was the referee that made the 3 Count when Edge cashed in his second Money in the Bank contract on The Undertaker. The guy just does not understand modern-day wrestling. He just comes up with asinine, ridiculous comments, and I'm here like, wait a minute, what do you mean by this? Like, he actually tweeted that we're trying to go against the grain because we boo the faces and cheer the heels. Are you serious? We're not trying to go against the grain, dude. You're 58 years old. This is a new era with a new generation with a new craving for what we want out of professional wrestling. WWE and the entire company, and especially you need to learn to evolve with the times. That's what I'm basically trying to put forth. So, and let me tell you something. What?
Didn't he block you?
Yeah, he blocked me and then he unblocked me just so he could attempt to amuse himself. Like you're really that petty? Yeah, he's that petty.
He's avoiding the adults.
He's really that petty.
How dare you avoid the adults, Cordair ass? He blocks all of us adults that were giving him the business, and he figures because he knows you're not going to go at him hard because you're younger. You know,
no, like, because like me, like, I can keep it a little bit more professional, right. But I really just come at him. I don't come at him with any financial facts because I don't focus on that. I'm talking about the creative side and the booking side of it.
Right.
But anyway, that's that.
He didn't like me or Litman or...
He's got no respect.
The rest of us, he can't talk to us. He blocked... I said, why don't you go back to picking on teenagers? And I was being fucking facetious. I was kind of just making a goof. And he goes and unblocks you and goes right back and does it. What a goof.
He's an idiot. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? But anyways, as far as my prediction for Ronda and Nia, I expect the match could be good. I'm not going to discredit that. But I expect Natalya to get involved, cost Ronda Rousey. Ronda's going to win by DQ. And Nia's going to retain the title. And we're going to get Nia versus Ember cash in down the line. And we're going to get Natalya and Ronda at SummerSlam. So I'm going to hand this back to you. And I want you to give me some expertise analysis. I believe we got about 9 minutes left. The WWE title match. Last man standing match between Nakamura and AJ Styles. And go.
Oh, I got the big match. You know what? This has been going on for so long. This whole time I thought Shins could win this, and then I just heard news of the 2K19 cover man is AJ Styles. So, I gotta go with AJ Styles just because he's on the cover of 2K, and it's literally coming out in a couple months. He's got to have the belt for when it comes out, right?
I don't really necessarily think so.
That's in October, right? That it comes out, or is it September?
Yeah, like mid-October, I think.
All right, that's a little while. That's way well past SummerSlam. So, yeah, Shinsuke, because I've been sticking with Shinsuke, and
he needs to, because like if they want to go through with the incredible storyline that I pitched with Nakamura, Bryan, like that would be the correct thing to do. But with WWE, you never know.
Yeah, he can't lose every single one. I'm guessing if I thought the game was coming out like this month, and I would say Styles, but no. Then it's it's definitely going to be Shins. And it will be a good match. A last man standing match usually means it's going to be a little bit longer. It's definitely going to be outside the ring. So we're going to get our payoff for a lot of people that do hate this angle.
Yeah. Last man standing match for the WWE title. That's how they do it.
Rassman Sanding.
Mash. All right. Did we miss anything? I don't know why. I feel like
B-Team versus the Deleters of Pizzas.
Did they announce it?
Oh, that's not happening?
I don't know. Like you see, like that's what I was talking about. Like I know that they won the Battle Royal, but did they announce it for the event? I didn't see any notification.
No, I just assumed because the other night when the Deleters of Pizzas came out and we're looking at them in the ring when they actually won that match, I mean, was weeks before Money in the Bank.
That was like 2 weeks before Money in the Bank.
Yeah, so it has to be. That has to be one of the things.
Let's just throw down a quick prediction. I'm just gonna go with the Deleters of Worlds since they just won the titles. B Team doesn't need to win the titles, and I think the Deleters of Worlds will drop it to either AOP or McIntyre and Ziggler, either at Extreme Rules or SummerSlam.
Yep, you're correct. That's an easy one.
And the main event, what I think is going to be the main event, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match between Strowman, Balor, Rude, Miz, Owens, Joe, one member of the New Day and Rusev Day, or just Rusev in this case. I think that this match should be a very good match. It should be, or one of the potential matches of the night. Should be a potential match of the year candidate. I expect a lot of high spots in this match, and you know, if I'm calling someone to win it right out of the gate, it's really tough. I think it's a battle between two men. I think it's a battle between Miz and Balor, and both have good cases to win the championship, win the briefcase. Miz, because obviously it puts forth that great storyline that I pitched with Nakamura, Bryan, and then you insert the Miz, have him cash your Money in the Bank, blah 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 blah. But then you got Balor, and Balor, obviously, we know that he's been well overdue for a championship reign ever since he came back. And they haven't done anything with him. God knows why. But if I was to pick a person, I would probably have to pick The Miz. And let me tell you something. I stated this before. I actually tweeted this. If Finn Balor does not win Money in the Bank, put him in a no-holds-barred match as the Demon with Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at SummerSlam and have him win. And I actually tweeted out like Vince McMahon or something like that. Like, is that too much to ask? Or something like that.
Yep,
it
is.
But can I get some thoughts on this match before we end this?
Well, I'm looking forward to this match as well. It is going to be really good. They've been building this part of the Money in the Bank, the actual man's, you know, wearing underwears Money in the Bank match, which is, it's going to be good. I mean, there's 8 guys in it. Is that too much, you think?
No, I don't think that's too much at all. I think that is perfect. 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown, straightforward, to the point. See, if they did 4 Money in the Bank ladder matches, 2 for Raw, 2 for SmackDown, that would have been overkill. This is not overkill because it gets both brands an equal amount of competitors in each Money in the Bank ladder match, and it gives more superstars who aren't in those ladder matches more opportunities, as you saw with Rollins and Elias, and, you know, the Club and the Bludgeon Brothers, or guys like Lashley and Zayn, even though the feud's been terrible. So I don't have a problem with it. Do you want to give a prediction or no?
No, I'm saving that.
Okay, cool.
Plus, I have no idea.
Plus, you have no what?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Well, it's unpredictable, so I'll give WWE that. But I still think TakeOver Chicago will be better.
Oh, always is.
Without a doubt. But match of the night at TakeOver Chicago.
Velveteen Dream and Ricochet, because I'm a huge Velveteen mark, and Ricochet is ridiculous.
Who isn't a Velveteen Dream mark by now? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of The Rundown. I would like to thank Dr. Huge for appearing on this very special edition video. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at TheDJStorms. Do not forget to follow Dr. Huge on Instagram at Dr._Hugenstein, I believe.
On Instagram.
On Instagram. Do not forget to follow him on Twitter at Dr. Huge Show. Do not forget to pledge to him on Patreon as well. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe my video. Do not forget to check out the rundown for TakeOver Chicago if you missed it. I posted it on Tuesday. TakeOver Chicago is actually tonight. And then do not forget to check out the Lightning Flash update, which I posted yesterday. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Storms.
I'm Dr. Huge, of course.
And this has been The Rundown. Peace out.